Hi, my food doesn't scream. Monica's going to be coming on. We're just going to be chatting away about mental health and things like that. She's got a few things she wants to talk about. Obviously, she's going to see a new psychiatrist and things like that. So she's got a good few things she wants to discuss. So if Monica's ready to come on, I'll guest you, Monica. Hi, Scottish Heather. How are you? Hi there.
Oh, I'm all shut up. Hold on. Move my computer. I'm being a chew toy right now. This guy.
Seems to be cutting out a bit.
He's using me as a chew toy. He's teething.
So how's things?
Huh. Let's see. This works better. Okay. Can you see and hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Can't hear you. I can see you.
You hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes. But
Yeah, that's great.
You're still frozen.
Frozen, is it?
Teething, and I'm his favorite chew toy. Yeah.
Seems to be frozen here.
I don't know, my internet. I did a speed test, and I'm only getting 3 by 3.
I can't hear you, Monica.
I don't know how well this is going to work.
Can you hear me?
But I can.
I can't hear you, Monica. I'll need to try and refresh it. Or do you want to stream or what? Don't know what's going on there, guys. For some reason, I'll try and guest Monica again. Maybe it'll work this time. Typical you now. Thanks very much for the likes. My food doesn't scream. Problematic. Yeah, she froze. I don't know what was going on there. Hello?
Hi, can you see and hear me?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Now he stopped talking something. Sorry. How are you doing this morning or afternoon for you? It's morning for me.
Seems to keep freezing.
Yeah, I can't.
It's frozen again.
I'm gonna try restarting. Or actually, wait. I think I can see and hear you now. I saw you blink.
Yeah, I'm fine. It keeps freezing on your side for some reason.
Yeah, I'm getting really bad internet speed for some reason right now.
We had a bit of that before. It's always back and forward. We're supposed to give the highest internet that you can get, so.
Yeah. Where I live, there are only 2 choices for internet, and it's just really, really slow, no matter which way you go.
Yeah. So nice to see you, Jen, as well, and Viral Carol.
Tiny little town inside a valley that's got your voice sounds like a piano. Let me try restarting real quick.
Yeah, I've got your hat on this, Jen. So it's been quite a busy day actually. We've been awful out and we've been getting all our Christmas food and things in, and we were away delivering presents, and it's been in and out, and I've been over there to the graveside putting flowers down at my mum and dad's grave and things, and obviously my grandfather's as well. But actually somebody's went and vandalised my mum's monument. I put down a special angel that was to a dear mother. Somebody's went and broke it, and absolutely sickening, you know what I mean? It really, really does. I mean, I don't know what to get out of things like that. It's really, really, it's crazy to say the least. Yeah, Jenny, it really, really is. Like I say, I don't know what to get out of it one bit, but actually as well, my grandfather's grave, they've actually lifted his gravestone and actually moved it way down the bottom of the cemetery, which is absolutely crazy. So they've put a sticker on his headstone saying that it was condemned. So I'm going to have to phone them up and try and get that sorted as well, because I don't know, I don't know how they can get away with doing these kind of things. Yeah, like exactly, my food doesn't scream utterly ridiculous, it really, really is. But I was in trying, the problems I had trying to find parsnips, roasted parsnips in the supermarket this morning to go with my Christmas dinner. Every single one that I tried to lift up had honey glazed. I was like, oh, unbelievable. You would think with frozen parsnips they would surely sell a normal roasted parsnips that you can get as a vegan. So I ended up having to buy fresh roasted fresh parsnips, sorry. And I got my wife the honey glazed ones, obviously, but third world problems, you know what I mean? So I got that, and I got my roasted potatoes. I obviously get my broccoli and cauliflower. I just got the kind of frozen veg. I think that was much easier and things like that. So obviously the Brussels sprouts. I get my cranberry sauce. Also as well, I picked up a apple strudel and a fruit winter strudel. And I thought that they would have actually been vegan. You look in the back of them, they're accidentally vegan. Like I say, puff pastry, everything. Great, so I'm going to be having that with after my dinner for obviously my Christmas dessert, and my wife's got a strawberry gatto, obviously. So Jenny says, when my friend died 7 years ago, some people stole some stuff off her grave. Don't know how people can do such things. Yeah, it's absolutely sickening. I even seen one not that long ago. A little baby had died. It was only about 7 or 8 months, and they had put a special monument up, and these people had actually broken all the ornaments, and they had like fluorescent lights on it. They broke all them, and they spray painted over the headstone and things like that. I mean, really, what kind of people get out of these things, you know what I mean? It's like Jen says, I hate they put honey in everything. I never had parsnips there. Like I say, they put honey in everything now. Like I say, I know a lot of vegans have got that kind of, they say, oh well, probably you could get away with having honey, but at the end of the day it's still getting made by bees and things like that, so it's still exploiting animals or insects or whatever in a certain way. So yeah, like I say, someone's vandalised toys for a tots at a military base. Like I say, it's absolutely sickening. I really don't know, but it just kind of makes me wonder. Like I say, that they actually, one of my family members actually had put a Christmas wreath down, and I had actually put a monument thing down for my dad that was to a favourite dad, like a world's best dad type thing. And they've actually, one of my families actually took it right off the headstone and actually put their thing down on top of it. It's crazy. Here's Monica back. I'll try Monica again and hopefully it'll work this time.
I
Hello.
I can't hear you at all. Oh man.
Can you hear me?
I can now. Okay. There was absolutely nothing. I was seeing your lips move and nothing.
Right. So how's things?
They're okay. I just woke up. I only got like 2.5 hours of sleep, so.
I know you were saying that you were going to see a new psychiatrist and things, and that was kind of what you were wanting to talk about and things. You were kind of worried about it, weren't you?
Well, I mean, it's a scary thing to do. Oh, sorry, I was looking for the kitten. Anyway, it's a scary thing to do because, you're putting yourself at the mercy of a complete stranger when you go to a brand new
Exactly.
doctor, and no amount of like looking on the internet, whatever, can really give you an idea of what he or she's going to be like.
So how have you been really in the past week? Has things been kind of up and down?
I've actually been pretty good. I've been baking. I've got like 3 things of fudge and cookies and all that kind of stuff going on tonight.
Yeah.
We have a company dinner with the business my husband and my daughter. I don't know what's going on.
Keeps freezing for some reason, Monica. I don't know why.
Try.
Frozen all together. Hi Kashinoki, how are you? If anybody else wants to come on and guest, let us see you can. If Monica can't guest, I don't know what's happening with her internet. She seems to be having a bit of problems with it, but she was basically wanting to come on and talk about mental health and things like that. And if anybody wants to come on and speak about their mental health and things, I was going to speak a little bit about mine as well. This past week, actually, I've had a bit of a rough week. Like I say, I've actually lost about 4.5 kilograms. I'm suffering a lot with hypermetabolism, which happens a lot in eating disorder recovery. Basically what happens with that is when you've been suffering with a restrictive background for a lot of years, basically your metabolism slows down, which is basically metabolic adaptation. Like I say, I don't believe in metabolic damage as such, but I believe your metabolism adapts to what you're basically feeding your body. So basically when you start to reintroduce calories and you start to eat a lot more, your metabolism really speeds up in eating disorder recovery. This can actually happen to people that have had a lot of trauma to their body, such as if you've been through surgery or you've had like an infection or such likes, but it happens to a lot of people in eating disorder recovery. So basically what happens is it's basically like your basal metabolic rate, which is your body's resting rate, which is basically like to make your body function, like your heart and your lungs and your breathing and such likes. You start to, your body's temperature rises and your metabolic rate goes through the roof, and you're actually burning a lot of calories constantly, because obviously as well you've got a lot of internal repair to be done to your body, such as your heart, because when you're starving yourself, your body uses muscle, and obviously your heart is a muscle. So that's the first point of call. Your body will use anything it can to stay alive, and that uses your liver, your kidneys, any kind of point of muscle or organs that can use to actually sustain you. So obviously as well, when you're in recovery, your body wants to repair all that damage, so your body knows what's best for you. It really doesn't care about fat and such like. Your body's main priority is to keep you alive, and that's to repair the internal damage. So if you're eating 2,500 calories a day or 3,000, your body is likely using up all that to actually repair the internal damage, because you've had years and years of damage done to your body. So that's what's happening to me. So it's basically the case, the way they can actually identify that you've got this is actually by, you get like it's like a CAT scan where it's a tunnel type scan where they actually inject radioactive dye into your veins, and it shows up your whole body, and they can tell if your metabolic system is been actually elevated. It can actually go on for days, months, whatever. There is no exact period or time or anything about it. It just depends how long you've actually been suffering for a restrictive background and how much damage is done to your body. Monica says she can see me, but there is no sound. Is everybody else, is my sound out with okay with everybody else? Because it's maybe just Monica's. Yeah, it's fine for everybody else, Monica. It's maybe your video. Yeah, it's definitely yours, Monica. I don't know what's going on. But like I say, that is one thing that's actually been happening. So it's quite a bit of an issue. Like I say, it's just to the point I've got to start adding in more calories, but do it in a very, very safe way, like I say, because I don't want to start, as I say, smashing in the calories, because that can do the opposite. Basically, when you can actually suffer refeeding syndrome a lot, which is actually basically what that is when you've been suffering for a restrictive background for so long, you start taking in calories, your body goes into shock, and what happens there is you can actually suffer with edema, which is swelling of the legs, swelling of the face and such likes, and it can actually bring on a massive heart attack. It actually did that to me. Basically what that is, it's a shift in the fluid to the cells of the body. So that's like your phosphate and your potassium. Potassium regulates your heart rate and such likes, so you can get cardiac arrhythmia and such likes. And I actually had a massive heart attack for that very, very reason. So what they have to do then is actually start you off in a gradual refeeding period, starting from say like 200 to 300 calories for a week. Gradually add it 100 calories up the following week, so that's like 400, 500, 600. This can go on for months. You can be in the hospital for years trying to recover from it. That's one thing that can actually happen. So it's a case of doing it all in a good way and making sure that you're doing it with your health and working along with a recovery network, whether that be your family, your friends, or if you've got a recovery team like myself, which is very, very important. So, hi everybody else, I hope you are all doing well. I'll hopefully try Monica again, if we can try it with Monica once more, maybe this will work this time, but I hope you can all fan me up as well. I would really, really appreciate that. Like I say, everybody, Monica's coming on to kind of chat about her mental health and things. Thanks for becoming a fan.
Hi.
Yep, I can hear you now.
And I can see and hear you.
Great! Third world problems, eh?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. It's probably because it's so cold and I think it's snowing outside, actually.
You now has actually been playing up the past couple of days. A lot of people, I think because a lot of people are on more, it's kind of chalking it up the kind of internet and things as well.
Yeah. We need to try that,
Google Hangouts, is it?
No, the, Air, I don't know, I don't have my tablet with me. That's what I put it on. I can't remember what it was called, but, yeah. So, my doctor's appointment is at 3:30, and it's 7:30 now. I have to drive 30 minutes just to get there.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know. But, like, I did as much research as I could on him last night. Or this morning, something like that. I don't know. Anyway,
So what happened about your medication? I know you said that they'd taken off your medication and things like that, and you were kind of getting a bit of issues with it and that.
well, yeah, I've been on the same medicine for 6 years, 7 years, and it works. It works. Like, don't try to fix what isn't broken, right? And last time I went to, the psychiatrist that I've been going to for years, he was just suddenly like, I'm not going to prescribe this, and this for you anymore. And he didn't even try to step me down the correct way, because I've been on the particular medication, which was Klonopin, for 15 years. So he should have stepped it down like a fourth at a time.
Yeah,
It
kind
was
of
just
gradually, so it wasn't causing you a big
yeah.
shock to your system.
But he did it by half at a time, which is just really horrible. So I ended up calling my primary care physician, my GP, and I let her know about the situation, and she prescribed me a month's worth of my medication for me to get into another doctor. So, yeah, this guy I'm going to see today, he actually seems like what I on paper anyway. I guess he
Yeah,
seems like he's going to be pretty cool.
that's
Um,
great.
he's been practicing for longer than I've been alive, so
Crystal Grey Matters asking, did something in particular cause my eating disorder? Well, my eating disorder actually started because it started in 1997 with the loss of my mum. My mum had actually suffered long-term cancer from me in the womb. Basically, she had the choice of aborting me and living with aborting me and be free of the cancer, or having me and living with the cancer. She obviously chose to have me. All through the years, she suffered like cancer of the bone, cancer of the face, lung cancer. She 3 times she had breast cancer. In 1997 she passed away, and that obviously brought on my eating disorder. And I actually had a massive heart attack and such likes at that point, because I did away to Australia. I went down to about 4 stone. I suffered relapses obviously in 2004 when my wife actually suffered 4 miscarriages and ovarian cancer. And then I recovered for a long while. I went back up to about 12 stone, started working and things again, and then I relapsed when my dad took really ill, and my dad actually passed in 2014. I went into hospital then, and I became vegan, and now I've been in recovery ever since. I'm doing a lot better, but it's just the past few weeks I've been suffering with this hypermetabolism, and this is no fault of my own. It's just something that happens with eating disorder recovery, but I will get through it. But thanks very much for that question. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you can fan me up as well. And any quick time you want to ask any questions, that's what we're here for.
on that note, I wanted to let you know that I have a friend who has her official diagnosis is anorexic bulimia and otherwise not specified.
Yeah, Ednos, yeah.
Yeah, she we talked for a while, and she's gonna actually look up your channel here in the next couple of days and try to.
That'd be amazing. Like I said, if I can help her in any way, tell her that any questions at all.
She made the very good point that right now she's not like rail thin. She's actually a little too heavy, and that people just assume she's better because of that. But it's the actual opposite end of the scale. And
exactly, that's one thing that I always say. People seem to define anorexia or any eating disorder by being this stick thin image. That's far from the truth. You can be very, very ill at any weight. It's not about the actual weight of the person or the body image. Like I say, it's about the mental issues that's going on up here, because people can be at the very, very illest at what you would consider looking at them as a normal weight. It's not about that.
No, it's totally the voice in her head, and yeah, it's scary. I've seen her go very, 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 very skinny, and I don't know. She's got a whole host of things going on, but yeah. The eating disorder, I think, manifested in her as a way to control something in her life.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is. That's what a lot of people seem to not understand about eating disorders. They seem to think that it's all about food and body image and want to be this perfect weight. It's not about that. It can be anything in your life that triggers it, whether that be bullying, losing a loved one like it happened to myself. Maybe you've been through something traumatic in your past and you're just genetically predisposed to it. And when these things happen, it triggers it, and it's basically like a way to control something in your life because the rest of your life seems out of control, basically.
Yep. But yeah, she's definitely heading to your channel probably today, or if she didn't yesterday. So
I'll definitely, that'd be amazing to speak to her. It's like Jenny says there, I don't think people fully understand it's more than just a physical condition, it's also psychological. Exactly, it's the same way any mental illness. They seem to think it's all about the kind of mental illness, that we want to be like that way. It's never a choice. Like I say, you actually, they think, especially with people with eating disorders, that you love yourself when you get to a certain weight, and that's far from the truth. You actually hate yourself. Your eating disorder will always lie to you and say, when you get to whatever that magic number that eating disorder tells you, whether that be 5 stone or whatever, I'm just saying these for numbers, but actually when you get to that, you hate yourself more and more. And I always said, I loved my food. It wasn't the case of me hating the food. It was the case of basically hating myself at one point, because I felt that I was to blame for certain things. No, I know that's not absolutely true anymore. But when you're in that eating disordered mindset and that eating disorder voice is screaming at you, that can basically be the fact of how it controls you.
Yeah, it's similar to bipolar. Like you look completely healthy or whatever, and people just don't get that any psychological condition where your mood swinging, or you're having to control your food or whatever, that's something inside that's not like, it's not broadcast to the world by your parents.
Exactly.
And you can look completely healthy and have a plethora of issues, whether it be eating disorder or bipolar or borderline or schizophrenia or anything like that, or PTSD.
Have you actually suffered bipolar? Have you?
Yeah,
I thought that was right.
Yeah.
So how do you find it's harder at certain times of year and things like that, or?
No, I don't really get the seasonality stuff. I just I have like extreme mood swings, and like I'll go manic and be that way for a day or a month, or I'll go depressed and be that way for whatever. And like when I'm in those mindsets, like I can remember a specific manic episode, like one of my very first documented ones. I had just been depressed for, I don't know, a month or so.
Yeah.
And I had done nothing but work, come home, work, come home, work, come home. So I had money and I had all that, and I went manic, and I was like that for 5 days, and I don't even remember most of it. But when I woke up, I had recarpeted, repainted my entire little apartment. I had bought a whole closet full of clothes. I had bought a hamster that I had no recognition.
Yeah, that's the kind of things we do, isn't it? I think we just go and buy things because we think it's going to make us feel better, and it's a strange.
Yeah. It was like I woke up one day and $5,000 was gone and everything was different.
I can relate to that myself. Thanks for becoming a fan, Lady Doc, as well. But it was like Duchess is saying there, I'm so glad that we can put a massive spotlight in these issues. These issues need a spotlight because they thrive in the dark. Exactly. Mental illness does thrive in secrecy, because that's one of the biggest actual things about recovering, is actually being able to speak out and accept you've got a problem. And till you do that, you never really get beyond that, because you get caught in that trap because you feel it's your identity, and you worry about how people are going to stigmatise you and things like that. But the real truth is that you will get a couple of trolls and things that do stigmatise you and say nasty things, but the most people understand it and understand that you're more than a mental illness. We've all got great abilities and we're all intelligent people. It's just a thing that can happen to anybody in life. Like I say, anybody that says they can't suffer with a mental illness is, well, I've got to say this. I say it can happen to anybody, and anybody knows that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know, like a lot of the time people have like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the comments and talk. Sorry. But a lot of the time people have, like, professionals have told me that it's no different than having diabetes. Only diabetes is a recognized condition with a specific, like, very little stigma attached to it and a very specific treatment that works for everyone.
Yeah.
And
Hannah, I've actually fanned you up as well, Hannah Jai, and I've fanned you up, Ash H. But Hannah Jai is saying the bad thing is I get told I'm too young to be sad, so now who cares? Yeah, that's just terrible to even to say that to anybody. Anybody can be sad at any age.
Age does not matter.
It's
mental illness is not judgmental, and mental illness is not going to not get you because you're young or you're old or
not exactly.
Or it doesn't care. It's going to get you. It's going to attack you.
Exactly. I've seen people with getting severe depression at 5-year-old and getting eating disorders at 5-year-old, and I've seen the polar opposite, them getting it at 70-year-old. You know what I mean? It can happen. It doesn't discriminate against age, gender, sexuality, colour, anything.
No, it does not discriminate at all. Too young to be sad, that's ignorant. Yes, it is.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah.
It's like Jenny says, I feel like I've been lucky with my medication because I got the right one first try. Well, that's great because
that's awesome.
Yeah, because usually it takes a lot of kind of trial and error in some ways, because a lot of medications obviously can actually, I found that I was on amitriptyline, it was called at one point, and I was basically like a zombie. It would just make me sleep all day, but at the moment I'm not in any medication at all because I've been off medication for about 3 years nearly, because the new specialist that I'm on, the psychiatrist that I've got, basically feels that medication is the wrong way to go about it, because she feels that you've got to overcome the things yourself. But I don't know what's your opinion on that, Monica. But
no, I'm very pro medication, and also things that people don't realize about medicine is, when I first started taking medicine, I was 18. My bipolar had manifested before that, far before that. But it wasn't until I was 18 that I actually, went for help. And at that age, a body is changing so much, so fast. So your metabolism's changing because you're finalizing into adulthood. So what works for you, 1 month may not work the next. And that's what I went through for years. I didn't get on the medicine regime that I'm on now until I was 26, 27.
Yeah.
And that was because I did what we call over here IOP, which is intensive outpatient treatment.
Yeah, I've heard of that, yeah. That's literally what I get. My specialist obviously comes in to see me each week, and we do like cognitive behavioural therapy in the house and things, and it's basically like a Maudsley mantra type thing, but it's basically like learning to take control of your eating disorder voice and such likes. But Lady Doc's saying there, I'm a doctor, I'm very happy to see you using this forum to reach out for the good and build a community village. Thanks very much. Really appreciate that. That's what we try to do. We try to kind of show people that, to kind of raise awareness and end the stigma, and basically show that you do get good days, you do get bad days, and you've got to show both ends of the spectrum, so you're not glamorising it as well, but obviously raising awareness that you're more than a mental illness as well.
Yeah, totally. The last time I cycled into mania, it didn't get that bad. But I did get in front of the camera and I just talked, and I didn't even edit it. I just uploaded it so that people could see how my brain goes from this to that. You know?
Same, yeah, that's what I try to do in my channel all the time. I try to always be 100% honest. If I am having a bad week, I don't come on and say, oh, here I am, here I am, here I am, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I don't want people to think, oh, that's great, that means that's the way it's going to go for me, because you want to show them that you can recover and things, you can have great days, but you also want to be open and honest and show them the bad days as well, so you're getting the kind of...
Yep. And, like, even when you're, like, I'm considered mostly, for the most part, recovered. I have a medication plan that works for me. I have a therapy plan. I have wonderful support from friends and family. I couldn't possibly be more lucky than I am right now. But
Yeah.
Even I lost my train of thought. Even
Don't worry,
so,
I get
what I was
that
trying to
often.
say,
It's sort of brain
yeah,
fog, I get it quite a lot.
yeah. What I was gonna say is, even though I am what they call stable, I have my hard times. I have things that happen, and it's not right to get on and share that part of your life, like to make a video saying I have bipolar and this happened to me, that happened to me, whatever, and not also share that even though you are quote
Exactly.
unquote better, you don't have bad times. You know, you can't just show one side of the coin.
It's like Duchess is saying there, she says that she's found cognitive behavioural therapy and such like is good, that it's working, and thanks very much, Hannah Jai, saying we deserve the support we're getting. I thoroughly appreciate that, and I've fanned you up as well,
Yes.
and we send you 100% support as well.
Yeah. I'm fanning you right now. Actually. Okay. But yeah, it's that whole, you can look perfectly fine to everyone outside the world, but unless you're like in here, you don't know.
It's the
You
same
don't
old
know.
story. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and recovery isn't linear. It's going to have bumps in the road, but it's about going to bed each night. If you've had a bad day, waking up the next morning and getting straight back on it. Like I say, that doesn't make you a failure. Everybody gets those bad days, but you know, I mean, it's part of the process. It's like Jen says there, fitness is my therapy and friends and family. Yeah, exactly. Like I say, I would love to get back into fitness and such likes, but I'm having a lot of issues. I'm actually, with my osteoporosis and that, this morning I was absolutely in agony, my hips and my knees and such likes, and that's one thing I want to raise about eating disorders as well. They can cause a lot of bone issues, obviously, with osteoporosis, because basically your bones can actually become crumbly, and it's got to the point, my last DEXA scan, which you get for obviously bone density, it was borderline normal, which was just bordering on osteoporosis, but now it's got a lot worse. I mean, an awful lot of pain, and like I say, the
Yeah,
longer you actually are in an eating disorder, the more damage it does to your body. So speak out early, get the help you need.
yes,
Like I say, the quicker the better.
yes. You're denying your body the proper nutrients, and um,
Exactly.
so it wreaks total havoc. I, um, my heart goes out to you, just all that.
Oh, my heart goes out to you as well. You support me so much, and I try to be there for you all the time as well. And that's what it's all about: being there for everybody and helping everybody as much as we can.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't get on camera and do things for something that I just do it
We do it to
for
help
people.
people.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
when I was starting to go through all this stuff, like anything that I talk about, I would look and I would research, and nobody talks about it. It's such a silent killer to have a mental illness.
It's like
because
Hannah says there, from my anorexia, my legs, they hurt, I struggle to walk, I can drink properly whilst on a water fast. Yeah, like I say, my legs really, really hurt a lot, Hannah. I don't know if you've actually had a DEXA scan, but it's maybe something you should ask your doctor about, because especially with females in eating disorder, they can get that quite prevalently. So maybe speak to your doctor and kind of ask them about maybe getting one just to check that out, because there's a lot of supplements you can take. You can actually get Slow K, which is actually a potassium type thing. It can help for the potassium side of things. But you get it's calci-2 D340, which basically helps your bone density and things. That can help actually reduce the risk of bringing on osteoporosis at the very, very start. Thanks for inviting your friends. Try vegan, and nice to see you here as well. And like Jen says, she has arthritis.
oh wow. Yeah, I hate that, but I mean, there's a difference between people not understanding and knowing about a mental illness and people who judge you for it like that. That's just um, so ignorant and so hurtful.
It's like Crystal Greymatter says there, I feel that there's also a huge stigma with men and eating disorders. Yeah, that's one thing I want to actually say. They say that there's only 20% of the population that's actually male that's got an eating disorder. But that's far from the truth. Like I say, there's a lot of people I get messages from all the time, and people I know that I've worked with along with at Parliament and such likes, that have actually got an eating disorder. But most men don't come forward until it's too late, because there is that stigma around it being a female illness, and they're scared about how society will deem them for speaking out, because they think, oh, that they may think that I'm not as much a man or such likes. But that's why I hope that me speaking out and doing my work at Parliament and things like that, and speaking about eating disorders, that people will come forward, and gradually that is happening, especially with a lot of kind of bigger celebrities speaking out about it. It's kind of taking that stigma away and such likes as well.
Yeah, yeah. Um, when are you going to speak at Parliament again?
I should probably be going at April next year for Eating Disorder Awareness Week 2017, so that'll be my next one as well.
Okay, that's like so awesome that you're so well heard. You know, that's just really awesome.
Well, I've been in an awful lot of newspapers and such likes, and I've done a lot for, obviously I've got blogs and different websites as well that I've done, but the biggest outlet is my YouTube channel. Like I say, my YouTube channel, Tofu Tommy, obviously that's where everybody is kind of gained a lot of popularity, and hopefully I'm reaching a lot of people. I get messages every day from people telling me that I've helped them, so if I can, as long as it helps one person, that's me done my bit. And
yeah, and I know that you there's no way that your channel hasn't helped many people.
I hope so. I really do.
You inspire me to do better. Like
you inspire me, Monica. Like I say, you've been through so much. Like I say, you can relate a lot to the things I went through, obviously with the adoption and things like that, and that we didn't have, and obviously things like the miscarriages and such likes, and.
But I don't know, like you're so real, and so
I try my best. Like I say, I care about everybody, and like I say, at the end of the day, if my message about my eating disorder just basically says to them, look what's happened to me, don't let that happen to you, that means everything, because that's what I want to try and say.
Yeah.
It's like Hannah Jai says there, I have an online friend that struggles with a lot of things, but sadly he reached out too late. I'm really sorry to hear that. My heart goes out to you, like I say.
That's horrible.
And thanks very much for that, Duchess. You're an inspiration as well. You really are. Like I say, every one of you mean the world to me. Like I say, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without yous, because that's been the greatest thing. 2016 has been a great year. Like I say, I went vegan this year, and the biggest part of that has been meeting all yous great friends, and I think the world of yous. Like I say, I wouldn't be able to keep recovering if I didn't have yous as support, because knowing what I've got to do to help other people, I've got to be the best version of myself, and that's what it's all about. Thanks very much for the likes, Jen, as well. Try Vegan says Tommy's presence on YouTube goes a long way to fighting the stigma and meals in regard to the stigma of being transparent about eating disorders. I really appreciate that, mate. I really do.
Yeah, I've heard of that happening to women. It's not gross. Like, it's all part of learning about this.
Yeah, your eating disorder does that to you. You obviously lose your menstrual cycle and such likes. It happens to a lot, and obviously, like I said, you're saying you touched upon, you lose muscle and things like that. You use friends, like I say, you do lose muscle because your eating disorder uses that obviously as fuel. And like I say, losing friends and such likes, that's basically all because we isolate ourselves away from people, because we stop doing the things we love. We stop going out for meals and such likes because we worry about getting out for meals, because we worry about the calorie content in certain meals that we don't know about that. But at the end of the day, don't worry about these things. The biggest problem is if you're doing things like that, start with doing a little meal at home where you don't know the calories, where somebody makes it from you. Gradually build it up to you going out to maybe a cafe once a week, and then gradually building it up to there. But it's all about little steps. That's what it's all about. It just doesn't happen overnight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing does, and nothing worth doing is easy either.
Exactly. That's a very true statement. It's like, I always say that the little connotation that life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain, and that's pretty much true.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. Sorry, I didn't grab my glasses, so I'm like squinting to read the comments. Let's see.
Duchess says, I'll send you a message, you can share it with Jess as well. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks very much, Duchess. Crystal Gramer says, LOL, the way you said that sounded really funny, just so sad. LOL. I know.
Yeah.
'Tis the season to be broke. Yeah, that's very, very true. I think we can all relate to that. Everybody's struggling at this time of year, but what's your kind of plans for Christmas, Monica, as well? I was going to ask you that.
Well, tonight we have the company dinner that I said earlier with everyone that works for my dad and my husband. We're going out to dinner. And then tomorrow is going to be pretty much a normal day. Then we will go over to my parents' house Christmas Eve and do the present exchange thing. And then Sunday, Christmas Day, I'll cook a big meal and my family will come over. That's pretty much, I don't know.
Me and my wife's just having a kind of quiet day in the house and things like that. Well, me and my wife and the dogs and things. So I was out getting all my Christmas meal shopping this morning. It cost an absolute fortune. It was about £100 just for Christmas Day alone.
Yeah. It's crazy, and especially with everything that, like, the foods you eat are more healthy and better for you than the foods that say I will be cooking, and those always are more expensive, it seems. It's always more expensive to eat healthy.
Well, I've got my vegan Christmas roast. I'm going to be having that on Christmas Day. My wife's got a big turkey roast. She obviously has got a normal one, so that's what she'll be having. And I actually got
What's your vegan roast?
It's a vegan turkey roast. It's like a fillet type thing, and you can cut it into slices. It's got sage and onion in the centre, and it's got carrots, and it's done with a moo cheese, which is a type of vegan cheese as well.
Oh my god, that sounds so good.
Yeah, it'll be good. So I'll probably video that, showing me the kind of, because this obviously is going to be my first vegan Christmas, so I'll probably do that.
That'd be awesome. Did you what other plans do you have Like, what do you do on Christmas Eve? And
Christmas Eve, me and my wife's actually going to my church, and they're doing a Christmas Eve special at 11:30 at night, just before, which rolls on to Christmas Day. So it's like Christmas carols and such like. So
yeah.
I'll maybe even vlog inside the church about that. It should be great.
Yeah, that's one thing I miss about church is because I was raised Catholic, and midnight mass was
Yeah,
always my grandfather was um what do you the Night of Columbus. Night of Columbus. I'll
yeah.
have to dig up a picture. But yeah, so even like as a very young child, I would go to midnight mass with him every single time, and like those are just amazing memories.
Yeah, like I say, this will be the first time I've ever actually been to a Christmas one, because I've always wanted to, but just never ever happened. I was always in the hospital at Christmas time every single
Oh,
year. It always seemed to happen. It's been like that for like 10 years. This has been the only year that I've actually been out of hospital, and it's all been culminated for me going vegan, and it's changed my life in so many ways. But
that's so amazing.
Hannah Jai said there, I became vegan this year. I have set rules and stopped myself eating certain things. Yeah, like, Hannah, I would say to you, what I do is I'm basically just vegan, and that means basically eating everything that I used to eat in a US standard diet. So that's like your vegan cheesecakes, your vegan pizzas, your vegan chocolate, everything. Because when you go vegan in eating disorder recovery, your eating disorder can actually latch onto things if you're doing things like 80-10-10 or Lotto 4. Because basically you're missing out food groups. Especially you need obviously fats for like your hormonal function, for your soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, which is very, very important for like females especially. So my recommendation probably would be is just, I know that it's very hard, but just try and be just vegan and eat everything you like before, and don't demonise any food groups, because your eating disorder can latch onto that.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's Try Vegan says, haha, I do miss my Gardein burgers. May make that an exception for Christmas. Definitely, mate, get tucked into those that Gardein.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. My grandma was into that stuff when I was a teenager.
Brohistel is asking, I'm struggling with anorexia. Will veganism help me too in recovery? Brohistel, that, really being honest, you've got to actually start obviously dealing with the issues your eating disorder before you start to go vegan, because you being vegan or doing any lifestyle won't help you unless you actually get to the root of what is causing your eating disorder. So if you're working with an eating disorder recovery team, start working on your issues first. Concentrate on getting yourself healthy, then further down the line you can choose veganism. But concentrate on getting yourself healthy, because you can't help any animals and such likes until you're in a place to help yourself. And that's the most important thing, getting yourself healthy before anything like that. Because no matter what lifestyle you do, won't help unless you actually start dealing with the process of why you're actually in eating disorders and the reason it's caused it, dealing with those issues first.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'll actually fan you up, Bro Hissle, as well, if I can find you in the chat here again. If you can fan me up, I'll actually... So if anybody else wants to jump in the guest queue, like I say, I've got about another 10 minutes or so. And
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just waking up.
I'll fan you just now, Bro Hissle.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my heart goes out to you. I hope it. Yeah. Not good.
Try
Someone's talking
vegans.
about butternut squash, and I'm just like, ooh,
Yeah,
that
like I
sounds good.
say, butternut squash. Yeah, I love butternut squash. I actually seen it in this morning when I was in doing my Christmas shopping. Obviously, they had a butternut and sweet potato mash type thing. I was going to pick it up, but I ended up picking it up. And I says, oh great, I'm going to be able to get this. I looked at the back of it and it actually had milk in it. So I ended up having to put it back. I was like, bummer, that looked great as well too.
Oh no, that's horrible. That sounds so delicious.
It was great. I was really wanting to get it. I really appreciate that, Hannah. I would love to see you again, definitely. Like I say, anytime you want to come on and speak away, if you would like to guest sometime, I would love to guest any of you guys. Kat McD says, I'm planning on it sometimes very soon, Tommy. Right now I'm getting the last little off to school, though. Brilliant. I really appreciate that, Kat. I'd love to see you soon. Bro Histle's asking, what's your opinion on Sasha and Freely the Banana Girl? Oh, that's a good one. But Freely the Banana Girl, like I say, I think in some ways, I know that she does she does a lot for obviously eating disorder. She says she's been through an eating disorder, but I think she does it in the wrong way because she promotes this lean body and she's always flaunting off her body. I feel that promotes a lot of eating disorders because a lot of people see that and they want to get like that. And at the end of the day, don't try to aspire to be anybody. You should just aspire to be yourself. You're more than any number in the scale, and everybody's genetically predisposed differently. Not everybody can have Freely's body or anything, and I feel that just kind of promotes a lot of eating disorders. Like I say, Saoirse as well, I think in some ways she can be a bit too militant, and she basically says if you're not vegan you don't deserve to live and such likes. I do a lot of vegan activism. Obviously we Save the Movement Scotland and Go Vegan Scotland. We go to like vigils and things at slaughterhouses and things like that. But I'm not biased towards anybody. I love everybody no matter what. Like I say, everybody can't be vegan. It's compassion for everybody. My wife's not vegan. Like I say, being vegan doesn't make you a good person. Being a good person makes you a good person, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just woke up. It's 8 o'clock here now. But I didn't go to bed until 3:30.
Oh. So it's been absolutely amazing speaking to you, Monica. Really, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas in that as well.
Yes, you too. And I'll let you get off, and maybe you can guess someone else in if you still.
I'll speak to you very, very soon. Sending you all my love.
All right, I'm sending you all my love.
And everybody in the chat, please fan up Monica. She's amazing. Check out her YouTube channel as well. She's a great person. Like I say. Speak to you soon, Monica.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sending you all my love.
Well, same to you. All right. Bye.
So amazing person, guys. Like I say, I hope you have liked this streaming things. It's been really great, raising a bit of awareness. And like I say, please everybody fan up Monica. She's absolutely amazing. Like I say, she helps everybody. So I'll maybe sign off with a wee song here. I think if you can bear my lucid tones. So what will I sing? I think this will basically ring a lot true. It's from Robbie Williams. I Love My Life. Tether your soul to me, I will never let you go completely. One day your hands will be strong enough to hold me. I might not be there for your old troubles, but you'll learn them eventually. I pray that I'm giving you all that matters, so when is yours to me. I love my life, I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am free, I love my life, I am wonderful, I am beautiful, I am me. I love my life. So guys, I love you so much, and thank you every single one of you for joining in this broadcast. Brew Hustle, Cat McD, Try Vegan, My Food Doesn't Scream, This Time Around Vegan Life, Monica, everybody else. And remember, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings, and hope you have an amazing, amazing Christmas if I don't speak to you before then.